notice that there's something not right.
This is the story of my family.
We're the Duggars.
That's me, I'm Michelle. There's Jim Bob, my wonderful husband, and our children. Josh is our oldest. He married Anna, and they had our first grandchildren, Mackenzie and Michael. Then there's Jana, John David, Jill, Jessa, Ginger, Joseph, Josiah, Joyanna, Jedediah, Jeremiah, Jason, James, Justin, Jackson, Johanna, Jennifer, Jordan, and finally our youngest daughter, Josie. If you lost count, that's a grand total of 19. And yes, I delivered every one of them.
Of course, with this many kids, we do things a little differently than most families.
It isn't always easy, but somehow we make it all work.
When you have 19 kids, you have opportunities to learn flexibility through the changes of life. Lately, we really have been on a roll. It seems like every week brings some new transition or milestone. Parenting seems to get more interesting as my kids get older.
I really want to find us a house kind of like what we're in right now, maybe with a little bit more space.
A little more space would be nice.
So I have a potential job offer that has come to me, and it would involve a move to Washington, D.C. We've been discussing this kind of amongst ourselves, but we've also really been keeping it to ourselves until this point. Just kind of considering it.
So my goal would be to find something where we can hopefully have a backyard.
It's a very big opportunity. I think any kind of job that involves, a move is obviously a big consideration, but it's also just the job itself is going to provide a lot of opportunities for me in the future.
You want to pick out a house for us to live in?
We might move to Washington, D.C.
If we move, I definitely look at the daily life routines that are very simple here in tiny town, Arkansas, a little tiny town where my in-laws family makes up like 1% of the population. It will not be that way in DC. I spend a lot of time thinking like, wow, how am I gonna live life without family close by? And there are so many things that are going to change if we move away from Joshua's family.
We haven't really come to an agreement yet on whether we're going to accept this position and move. There's just a lot of questions that we still need to answer.
We probably should call my parents and maybe see if we can talk to them.
We have a lot of decisions that we're going to be making in the near future, and I think we just need to talk with Joshua's parents and get their advice.
There were no schools for farm children.
We have been homeschooling all of our children from the very beginning. Started out with Josh at 4, my first one, and we've been homeschooling ever since. We love it. We think it's the best way for our family to learn together.
Find the letter C.
See,
Right on.
this is our schoolroom / playroom. From like 11 to 2, it's supposed to be off limits during the day of playing, and it's supposed to be focused on the school. And so we're working on our math, English, spelling, and grading papers, and doing things like that. And the Carsons are dear friends of ours that have homeschooled, and so they're helping us with our tutoring and getting papers graded and all that good stuff. Joshua called and asked me if he and Anna could come over to get some counsel from Dad and I about a big decision that they were making.
Hey! Josh and I both realized that we're young and we don't have it all figured out. And Joshua's parents are older and have lived longer, and we know that they are very wise and will give us wise counsel.
So, what's on your mind, guys?
We've been considering moving to DC, and my kind of surrounding me taking a new job and just a lot of those things, and so we just kind of wanted to get your advice.
Michelle and I were very honored that Josh and Anna wanted to get advice from us about the logistics of moving and should they move or not, and how this is going to affect their family. DC is a very populated place. I mean, a lot of things going on there.
Some of the concerns I would think would be, first and foremost, is having a group of people that they can fellowship with. I think church family is important.
I think this is going to be probably one of the biggest decisions of y'all's lives if you decide to move and go through with all this, because not being around your family or Josh's family, you guys could come visit this way, a couple times a year. We come that way a couple times a year, so every quarter or so we probably be together. But I hate to see the grandkids grow up without us being there. I'm sure this will put extra pressure on their marriage. It will be extra pressure on their family, maybe even not getting to spend as much time with each other, and then being away from all extended family where you don't have built-in babysitters. It's going to be a lot more difficult. So I think they really need to pray about this decision and see which direction to go.
Just the change of going from 2 children to 3 children is huge. Adding on top of that the possibility of moving to DC is like, sometimes it's too much for me to think about.
When are you thinking about making this move possibly? Is it before the baby's born or after?
We're not 100% for sure.
We're not for sure if we'll move before or after.
We're just kind of weighing our options and trying to see how this is all going to unfold.
Well, why don't we pray for y'all?
If this job goes through, this definitely will be a first for our family to have one of our children far away. It'll be different for our family, yeah.
We haven't really come to an agreement yet on whether we're going to accept this position and move. There's just a lot of things involved, a lot of questions that we still need to answer.
If Josh and Anna end up moving to DC, I don't know how we'll respond.
After 35 hours, we're so excited. The baby is finally about to arrive. Do it again. Go again. Baby's almost here. You're right. You're done because the baby's coming.